We're back in this ill-defined void during this lockdown where we can't do jiu-jitsu. Um, Welcome back to these lockdown videos. Thank you again to the Discord channel for all the lovely ideas and conversations that are starting to happen. This concept video, one I use pretty much every role. I'm always conscious of. A lot of what I say in jiu-jitsu isn't black and white. There's always going to be outline techniques, but these are good outlines to kind of navigate roles and training. So this idea is the idea of inside and outside guards. So for every situation that you're in a face-to-face situation with someone, so guard, mount, etc., you're either the inside person or the outside person. And so the way to define that is, are you in between the other person's legs or not? So if you are in closed guard on your back, and the other person is in between your legs, you're the outside person, they are the inside person. But if you have butterfly and your feet are in between their thighs, you are now the inside person, they are the outside person. Single leg X, even though your legs kind of wrapped around the outside, you are still the inside person because you're on your back and their feet are either side of you. De La Riva, even though your feet come around the inside and appear on the inside of their thighs, you're still the outside person because their legs are still in between yours. So it's an outside based guard. And so why that matters is for two reasons. Number one, it kind of defines what submissions you have available to you and what you could get submitted by and large. Like I said, there's always outline techniques. So if you're the outside person, you are more susceptible to leg locks. If you're the inside person, you are more susceptible to upper body submissions. So automatically you can kind of like take out 50% of what's going to happen to you. So you can focus all your energies onto one half of your body, as it were. But also it means you can be more threatening, especially if you're the top person when it comes to passing, especially if they're in like an outside base guard. Because this only matters to lower belts. I'm trying to think about how I was when I was a lower belt. But when you're on your when you're first starting out, and all you're doing is passing, that's the other person. That's the only other thing the person on the bottom's got to worry about. If you can threaten with a submission attempt as well, and like jab cross these ideas, so being able to threaten the pass and threaten a leg lock, they're probably going to overreact to one and give you the other. If all you're doing is passing, that's all they're expecting, and they can just shut down their guard and just hold you in place. But if you can like give them other reasons to think, then you actually have a jab cross available to you at this point. Mount's also another curious one. I'm going to try and do a better live video of this because I think it's quite interesting. There's a lot of jiu-jitsu that only exists because things were taken out of jiu-jitsu. So for a long time we didn't have leg locks, like a good leg lock game in jiu-jitsu, and so certain things kind of came about. A prime example of that is like a low mount sitting across the hips where you're upright. That really doesn't work in a world where leg locks are available, because the second you have that position, you're the outside person, they're the inside person, and if they buck you off sideways and your leg elevates, they're going to leg lock you. So that position only exists because we didn't have leg locks for a long time. If you actually put leg locks into the game, you can't hold that position successfully without feeling very threatened. You have to go for a high mount. You have to work into the hips. You have to have good head control. This low on the hip seated mount can't happen. Same with quite a lot of other things. So we'll again hopefully do a live video on that as well. I think it's important to have leg locks in your game. I think it's important to have that jab cross ability to actually throw shade in certain circumstances and not just feel like you're stuck in the other person's guard. And that's the other reason for understanding this idea is guards kind of branch together. It's hard to go from it's harder to transition from an inside base system to an outside base system. So to go from De La Riva to single leg X takes a bit of a transition. To go from closed guard to butterfly takes quite a bit of transition. And transition is movement. Movement means there's susceptibility to being caught. There's less transition between guards of the same category. So it's easier to go when someone is standing up from your closed guard, an outside base guard, to De La Riva, another outside base guard. It's easier if you're in butterfly and someone jumps to their feet to go to single leg X, another inside base guard. So games are kind of defined along this route, and when you start getting more advanced, people choose these guards, these categorized guards, because they have certain games. So they choose inside base guards because they want to do leg locks. Simply enough, because outside base guards aren't going to afford them that. Saying that you can then use this idea if someone is purposely going down a particular route, like forcing inside base guards, force them on the outside. And that's kind of where this was going, is you don't have to choose the guard you're in. Like, you don't have to just say, accept butterfly. I think, oh, well, I'm in butterfly now. I have to know my butterfly passes. I have to watch out for my legs. No. Like, force them to go into like a half guard. And I want to do a bigger video on half guard because it's an incredible guard because it's both inside and outside. And I use it for that reason. But yeah, you don't have to accept this. If someone's purposely going down a certain route when you're on the approach and you're pocket fighting, if they're choosing a certain type, make them transition to something else. Just put your knee in the middle or take one of their feet out, and now they're forced into a half situation where half their submissions have disappeared. They can no longer play their game. They actually have to transition back into that categorized system of guards. So something to take out of this video then is be aware of which you're in and what you have available to you. Make your transitions slicker, like the guards that categorize themselves together. So inside to more inside guards, or outside to more outside guards, and see that the transitions between the two are actually a bit slower. Again, we'll go through half guard and its amazing this probably in the next video. And also, don't accept the guard you're in. You don't have to. Like, if they're in a certain category on the approach, if they're forcing outside base guards or inside base guards, they're doing it for a reason, because they're happy with the submissions that they've chosen. They've chosen triangles or guillotines for outside, or they've chosen leg locks for inside. Again, not completely hard and fast, but it's a good indication. So if you get someone who's forcing inside base guards and want to do for leg locks, make yourself the inside person. Now you've taken away their entire game. You force them a complete 180 into an outside base system. Now they've got to try and use upper body attacks. Their leg locks have gone. They're going to have to transition back into an inside base system. Makes really good reading in sparring situations. Have a think about that. Have a think about the roles you're in. If you are still rolling, play with it. Let me know what your thoughts are. Go on the Discord channel. Have a good chat with me about this. And thank you for your time.